The Strymon Riverside. I've heard some very good things about it. Is it worth the hype? Is it potentially even better than the hype? That's what we'll check out today. Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo J. Karjalan, and you can call me this guy or whatever guy or whichever guy. You can call me Karjalainen if you want to. It's all the same, it's all good, as long as you enjoy yourselves. Today I'm checking out The Riverside by Strymon, and I'm really excited about this pedal because I've been itching to try it out forever, basically. I have the Sunset by Strymon, which I've been using live, and I really like it. It's actually in my top 3 Overdrive pedals ever. So that's why I'm interested in how this sounds. The Riverside is 320-ish euros here in Europe, which should be 350-ish dollars in America. Although I do not know how much it goes for there, as you can leave comments. You can get it cheaper secondhand. Well, of course, So it's not entirely cheap, but on the other hand, the things that it does mean that it's not as expensive as you might think. See, it's a regular type of overdrive pedal. It has drive, level, 3-band EQ, and a couple of flippy switches where you can do different stuff with. But the thing is, first of all, you can program a favorite sound which you can engage through the favorite button, which means that you can have it as 2 different overdrive pedals. Now, if you have to buy 2 different overdrive pedals, that'll cost a bit more. Even if you buy cheap ones, this is suddenly not terribly expensive. And it also has a noise gate. Now, a noise gate is something that I use all the time. You might not, but if you do use a noise gate, this one is fairly handy, because then you don't have to buy a separate noise gate. This one does it all. So it's not that expensive, even though just north of 300 is a fair amount for an overdrive pedal. What else does this do? It has a switch for presence, minus, neutral and plus, which you can, depending upon the amp you're using, and from what I've understood, the plus thing is so that if you're going straight into a power amp, you put it in plus mode, and that kind of should work. And it has a mid boost switch, which is called push, which is right here, and a gain switch with less gain and more gain. Morgan! Yeah, I think that's about it. So let's just get going. The song that you heard just now was one of my songs. I was playing through the Strymon Sunset. If you want that song, check out my Patreon. You can get all of my music there. You can even get it for free if you want it. Basically, I just want you to hear my music, and if you enjoy it, you can pay. If you don't, just take it for free. Don't pay. What else do I have here? I have a custom mahogany Strat with Seymour Duncan YJM Fury pickups. I have a Marshall Plexi, 50-watt Plexi, which is not entirely clean. I have a bit of delay going on. This is my clean-ish tone. Just on the edge of breakup. Reminds me of that song, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. I also have my favorite overdrive ever. the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive. So I have that as a point of reference for me and for you if you're new to the channel, so you know what kind of stuff I normally like. I buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review, but it's going to be subjective anyway, so if you like something totally different to me, you'll know, which is great. Hooray! Everyone wins, except people who like Marshall codes. I'm still getting crap for just saying what I thought about the Marshall code. Yeah, that's the way it goes. So here is the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive. And that's why I use a noise gate, because it gets noisy. Yes, so the Strymon Riverside. If I say sunset, just disregard it. I'm talking about the Riverside. Yeah, anyway. Shh, quiet. Actually, I've fiddled around with this a bit already and programmed in a favorite sound. But let's start with everything halfway and see how it sounds. I have a separate camera filming the pedal so you can see that's my hand. Me turning it on, and here goes. Okay, sounds very good so far. The way that it works is that it's the Riverside has an analog gain stage, a JFET gain stage, which then sends the signal into a DSP controlled section where all of the EQ resides and all of that. So it is analog and it's digital. Okay, let's see what the flippy switches do. First off, the presence. There's a tiny bit of difference there, but nothing major. The gain switch. A big difference. And mid push. Okay, let's check out what it sounds like as a clean boost. So drive all the way down, level all the way up. This is with the less gain mode. Let's see how it sounds without it first. Okay, so a very moderate amount of gain. Tiny. Let's put it into the more gain mode, but still drive all the way down. Okay, everything back halfway, and let's see what we'll have it in more gain mode and see what the EQ does. So bass all the way down. All the way up. That's a fair bit of bass. Middle all the way down. Up. Treble all the way down. All the way up. Okay, let's get into slightly more gainy territory. So gain is now at 3 o'clock, and so is level, but the gain switch is now back to less. The EQ, when I was trying it out, by the way, I forgot to say, is supposed to react differently depending on the amount of gain that you have. So I've just given you a fairly basic idea of what it does, but I can't go through EQ in all of the different settings because that will just make for an endless video, basically. So but I think that everything sounded really nice and musical, because you get some pedals where there's a tone knob or an EQ where some of the settings become really like almost ridiculous. Everything sounds very nice and musical on this one. Let's add more gain, because we can. Okay, let's add mid push. I really like the sound of this. It sounds great. Let's go over to higher gain mode and flip the mid switch back down, but still gain all the way up. Damn. It sounds great. Okay, so I'm going to compare the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive and the Strymon Riverside. Actually, I'm redoing this bit later, so I already did this, but there was some problem with the audio, so I have to redo this part. Here's the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive, and I'll switch to the Strymon Riverside. Riverside. Yngwie Overdrive. I'll just switch between the two, so Fender and then Strymon. Fender and then Strymon. I keep looking at the screen. Look at the camera, idiots. Now I will feign surprise because I'm not redoing this. Oh my god, it sounds so good. I had no idea. Seriously, it sounds absolutely awesome. And it's so close to the Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive. A tiny, tiny difference there. And I don't really know which one I prefer. Yeah, that's a bit tricky. I will say this, the Strymon is, it does this one thing that the Fender does. The Fender does, basically, it has one sound which you can control from the volume knob and the tone knob and get different stuff that way, but the Fender only has two controls, level and gain, and I usually put them up on full. There's one other thing I could try, which is, because I like playing with the volume knob turned down a bit and the tone knob turned down as well, and doing kind of Jeff Beck type stuff, and the Fender gets really noisy. So you have the noise gate and it does this. And the more you have the tone turned down, the sooner you get that overdrive hiss going on. So I'll try with the Fender first and then with the Strymon, see how they compare. Strymon. Yeah, they sound a bit different here, but then again, the Strymon is just a tiny bit different. The Strymon is a bit quieter, which is really nice when you're doing this type of stuff. Yeah, the Strymon is more versatile, but I think it does that one sound basically as well as the Fender. I actually don't know which one I prefer. I'll switch over to the 7-string, which means that I have already switched over to the 7th. Yeah. Shh. Okay, so I have my Ibanez Universe here, and I'm gonna see what the pedal thinks of this. So here is everything set, or the gain and level set full, and EQ halfway. If you turn it on, it works better. Okay, let's try scooping out mids a bit like the heavy metal people do. Some weird noise going outside. Here's it a bit scooped. Okay, let's de-scoop it. Actually put everything on full. Now let's try it with more mids, because mids this is going so wrong. Failing publicly, humiliating yourself. Yeah, guitar is a mid-range instrument, believe it or not, so let's check it out with more mids. Yeah, let's put everything on full. Because why not? More is more. Okay, and let's add the mid boost still, because okay, so I already compared it to the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive, but anyway, here's a quick A/B. Here's the Strymon in favorite mode. I programmed as something similar to the Fender. Right, so what do I think? Well, the good thing is that I buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review. And if you follow this channel, you know that I really like the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive. So this might seem a bit blasphemous. Sound-wise, just think of one sound that you can get, which would be my kind of sound for most of the stuff that I do. I'm not sure which one I would pick. There is a tiny difference there, but I don't know which one I prefer. That might change over the course of time when I get to know the Strymon Riverside a bit better. So I play with it, I record it, I listen back to it, and I might put something in the subtitles when I edit this. I play live with it, and I'll get to know it a bit better, because you get acquainted to a pedal or an amp or a guitar when you use it in different situations and for different rooms and different conditions and all that. But at the moment, the Riverside being totally new to me, I'm just trying it today for the first time. I'm not sure which one I would pick based on just one sound. The pros of the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive are that it's cheaper and it's simpler to use. That being said, the Strymon is not difficult to use at all. Actually, it's very simple as well. And I would probably pick the Strymon. Shock and awe. It's really good. It sounds great. I think it sounds better than the Sunsets, although I'll have to A and B them. I'll make a separate video of that. But the fact that it has the 3-band EQ, you can do stuff with it. You have the low and high gain setting, you have the pushed mid and regular. It has the noise gates, you get basically 2 overdrive pedals in one. Now, more is more. More is not always better. So there are tons of stuff that do tons of different things that don't do anything particularly well. I think this does everything really well. They've managed to find that balance between doing a few things and doing them really well. Yeah, I think I'll be using this live. And I was planning to sell this. I was planning to make the review, make a comparison with the Sunsets, and then sell it on. And this sometimes happens, that I cannot sell the piece of gear that I reviewed because I like it too much. Hence I have the Strymon Sunsets over there, and now I'll be keeping this as well. Oh, poor wallet, thou must hateth me. I really recommend this pedal. Now, like I said, I buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review, and I don't do... I do have affiliate links in the description, so if you want to buy some of the gear that I recommend, there's a list there of the stuff that I use and regularly or recommend. And a small percentage, if you buy something from those links, goes to me, and you support this channel that way. So if you want to buy a Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Strat, there's a link there. Yes, but there's not a link to this. I might put a link to this one later on, but I'm not going to put it here because I want this to be totally honest. I'm not getting any money from anywhere saying this, but this might just be my favorite overdrive pedal in the world. It's a tight contest. Yeah, I don't know. It's so good. If you want to watch more of my gear reviews, there's a playlist here somewhere. Do stick around, press like if you like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, subscribe if you haven't already. Please do subscribe because it's great fun here, I hope. If you're not this far, then you haven't liked it. And yeah, join me on Patreon because you get a bunch of exclusives, an album that's not available anywhere else, and you could get all of my music, and you can get it all for free if you want to. The link is in the description. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in another one. Take care. Goodbye.